really open about why this was so important to me. And when they first were going to have this march, I thought, let's go to Huntsville, let's go somewhere close. Got first with Melissa, Rebecca, some other girls. Rebecca's like, we can do this here. We all were like, we can do this here. And we were so glad that you all came. My reason that I personally wanted to get out and tell the story was, in 1995, I was fresh out of high school. I was raped. It was something that I didn't tell very, very many people at all. Not my parents, not my sisters, my best friend, who at the time didn't believe in abortion. I knew from the start I was going to have an abortion. As I'm watching the last 5 years go by and I see the reproductive rights being taken away, what if in 1995 I was in Texas and had been raped and still couldn't go get an abortion and have to carry a child that I wasn't ready financially or mentally for? Why should why should you have to suffer one trauma to have an abortion? It should be legal. If you're in the laws that Texas are passing, they're not going to stop there. Like she said, it's going to keep coming to us. We have to watch who we vote for and what they're going to do to help you and your rights. I just know that thinking back now that if this, and it's crazy that it's 26 years later, and then I'm here arguing for something that I was able to go do. And it's not easy to walk into a clinic in Birmingham, Alabama, and go through protesters and get an abortion. That was not easy, but that was the choice that I made. And I would go back to this day and do the same thing. I went on to have 2 healthy, happy, aggravating children of my own, on my own terms. But I was able to do that. Had I been forced at the age of 18 to do something from a traumatic experience, or for any reason, if I had been forced to do something, the children I have now wouldn't be who they are. I wouldn't be the mother that I am. I wouldn't be here today had that not happened. So it happened for a reason, and that's what I'm going to take it is. This is why I have to march, and this is why I have to fight, so that no other girl who is 17, 18, or young, any woman that's in that place has to fight or be scared, because I don't know who I would have went to or what I would have done had nobody offered me to be able to have that. If I had not been offered an abortion or been able to get one, I don't know what I would have done, or if I would even be here today. Because I don't know the mental state it puts on a woman is bad enough as it is. And when you're forced to that decision, you don't need your friends. I have people now that's come out in the last few years. When you are calling these other people baby killers, you know what? You're telling me I'm a baby killer. Those words, you might as well be, if you're not telling me, even I didn't tell my friends these stories, that's me. That was me. You're calling me that. That hurts me. And I remember that you said that, and that's how you feel. So support women. If you don't believe in abortion, don't get one. It's that simple. Just, if you feel like you need one, it's between you, your God, your doctor. That's who it is, not the government. So that's just my words, and the best way that I know to put my experience and why I think it's so important. And I'm so glad that so many of you came out today, and Ms. Bailey, everybody, Ms. Sloan, we have Christy Sloan from the Democratic Committee going to speak for us. Kayla, I'm sorry. And I'm a little nervous, I'm sorry, like I said. I've never come out and just told, it was about a month ago when I finally went on Facebook and said, look, this is why I'm doing it, and I told my story. Some of you may have read it, you know. But that's why, and then I just thought it has to be said, and somebody in our area has to say it. There are people that quietly believe it that don't say it, that's fine. But don't attack those of us that do. And like I said, it's your choice. If you don't want one, don't get one. But leave it to the women and their doctors and their own God to decide. Thank you. And Ms. Sloan, thank you.
Hey y'all, I'm Kayla Sloan. I'm with the Alabama Democratic Party. I first want to say, Tony, that's really brave of you. I'm probably about to cry. But women telling their stories like that is how we destigmatize this issue. And that is honestly so much of where our problems come from when we talk about abortion access, is that we don't talk about it enough. And I can guarantee someone you know and love has had an abortion, and just hearing that story is really powerful, so thank you. And then, no one can ever hand me a mic and me not talk about elections and voting, so I'm gonna talk about elections and voting. So next year is 2022, and it's a midterm year. So these legislators that made this decision in Texas, those are your state level legislators that are elected during midterm years. In Alabama in 2019, our state legislators made those same decisions. They created a law, they passed a law that restricted abortion access in Alabama. Thankfully, it was overturned because Alabama is really good at writing crazy laws. Now that we've seen what Texas has done though, and how Texas has been able to write a law that the Supreme Court has decided to not take up, we are reminded that it can happen here just as easily because they've tried every single legislative session. So you can guarantee that it will come up again. And we've got to maintain the energy we have here right now, the anger we have online when we talk about this. We have to take that anger and that energy to the polls. So in 2022, this area is actually really ripe for change. Right now, we have a Republican supermajority, and I'm sorry, I'm from the Democratic Party, so if you're a different party, I'm sorry. But we have a Republican supermajority in our state legislature. But we have at least 3 target seats in this area that we could flip so that we could start taking back the state house and state senate and stop laws like this from ever being proposed. We have to get a balance in the state legislature so that we can protect women, we can protect trans people, we can protect non-binary people. Because abortion is healthcare. Abortion should always be safe, legal, and available, full stop. So if you want to talk about voting, if you're not registered to vote, there's voter registration forms over there. I've got my computer set up to get you registered to vote. If you're interested in running for office, Alabama is a majority woman state. We do not have a majority woman legislator. So if you are interested in running for office, believe me, you can do it. So many of the men in there are completely unqualified, so what's the difference? Come on. So let me know if you want to run. I'd love to get you started. So it's not 2022 yet, but we should be working like it is. So one of the things at the Democratic Party that I brought flyers, I hope everybody picks one up. It's got a QR code so you can attend the event. But we are teaming up with the Yellowhammer Fund, which is an abortion access organization out of Birmingham, but they help women across the state find the services they need. So they are going to be joining us for a virtual session talking about the history of the fight specifically here in Alabama and all we've had to come up against, and talking about how you can help defend abortion access today in Alabama and how we can be really proactive about this issue. And like I said at the beginning, one of the biggest things is talking about it. So we're also going to learn how to best talk about this, how to keep talking about this, how to not be afraid of people coming against you on this issue. And I just want to say everyone here today is brave for being here too, because this has not been an easy issue for sure for people in our area. So thank you all for stepping out and being here today. So the event is October 13th at 6 p.m. Please pick up a flyer. You'll learn about how you can get involved in defending abortion access in Alabama, and if you get involved with the Democratic Party in general, someone like me will be calling on you in 2022 to help us knock doors, to help us make phone calls for pro-choice candidates. So, thank you, everybody.
Hey, we have some free water donated from Counts Brothers. If y'all need some water, you can drink. It's free. Help yourself. We have Mr. Mikey Ledbetter to entertain us with some music to start with. Didn't want to just do all talking for y'all. Going to try to do a little entertaining. Anyway, Mikey, you want to take the floor and entertain us? Thank you, Miss Sloan. We appreciate that so much.